Hello and welcome to the MENFINITI Podcast with your friend, philosopher and guide, DHIRAJ Singh. I know it's been a longish time, but let me tell you, it was not because of the scarcity of creativity, but believe it or not, time. So sorry about that. So what are we going to talk about today? When we are in the midst of this phase of Ghiblification, everyone is making Ghibli studio style versions of their pictures, which is all very good. But do we understand the fundamentals? How a creative mind works? Amid this whole Ghibli craze, I was actually trying to know more about Hayao Miyazaki. And I found this very interesting quote by him. And it says, "The creation of a single world comes from a huge number of fragments and chaos." And I was immediately set thinking about how deep this line was and how, as writers, as filmmakers and creators, we are always building these fascinating worlds that fascinate people and draw them in. This brings me to the fascinating aspect of creativity, the nuts and bolts and the brass tacks, how it works, why it matters, and how you can unleash your own creative potential. Today's episode is an exciting one because we are going into the science of creativity, the neuroscience behind it. A lot of people think that creativity is this mysterious gift that only a few lucky ones have. But science tells us otherwise. In fact, throughout history, we have time and again seen how creativity is a skill, a function of the brain. And that means we can train our mind to improve it and even hack it in order to make it more creative. So how do we do that? Let's find out. Before we talk about how to hack creativity, let's first understand what's happening inside our brains when we have those aha moments. For a long time, people thought creativity came from the right brain and logic from the left brain. You know, the way people say, "Oh, you're so left-brained, you won't get it." But recent neuroscience has proven that is quite a myth. Creativity isn't just about one side of the brain, but about multiple networks working together for many different creative tasks. Scientists have mapped out 3 major brain networks involved in creativity, and they are as follows. Number 1, the default mode network, or DMN. This is your brain's daydream mode. It activates when you're not focused on anything specific, like when you're taking a shower or going for a walk. This is when random ideas start to form. This is actually the fun part of ideating. It allows you huge amounts of freedom, almost as if you're dancing and no one's watching. Number 2, the executive control network, or ECN. This is responsible for filtering, refining, and executing creative ideas. This one enables you to decide whether an idea is worth pursuing. This one actually does the heavy lifting, testing many aha moments on the crucible of past experience to see how they fare in the here and now. Number 3, the salience network. This acts like a switch between the DMN and the ECN, deciding which ideas deserve attention and which ones don't. This network is the gatekeeper of sorts, and it screens and filters stuff and then decides what is really fit for public consumption. Understanding these networks helps us realize that creativity is not a random light bulb moment, but it's a process. And if it is a process, what that means is that we can train ourselves to optimize it. Now let's get into the fun part. How to hack your brain and supercharge your creativity. Here are some scientifically backed methods. Number 1, engage in mind-wandering activities. Many of the world's greatest ideas happened when people weren't actively thinking about the problem. Remember the DMN, or the default mode network. Einstein famously got many of his breakthrough insights while playing his violin. Now, I'm not suggesting that you take up violin classes, but you can also engage in DMN activities such as taking a walk, swimming, or even just staring out of the window. The key is to give your brain some space. This time and space will allow you to make unexpected connections. Number 2, switch up your routine. Our brains love patterns, but creativity thrives in disruption. When a chain is broken unexpectedly, that's when our brain goes out into sleuth mode, wanting to find out what is actually happening. So try working in a new location, switch to somewhere like your balcony, or maybe take a different route back from work. Search up and listen to new music that's completely new to your tastes. Or maybe even bring some disruption to your daily schedule. Go for a night walk instead of a morning one. Throw a brunch party instead of an evening one. Studies have shown that even simple changes like using your non-dominant hand can spark new neural connections. Number 3, use the constraint hack. Studies show that working with some form of limitation actually increases creativity. Writers like Dr. Seuss created their masterpieces by deliberately restricting their vocabulary. It's almost like gamifying your own life. Changing rules, increasing difficulty levels as you go. Give yourself creative boundaries, like trying to write a story in 50 words or painting using only 3 colors. Number 4, let your brain incubate ideas. Ever had a great idea after sleeping on it? That's incubation at work. Research suggests that stepping away from a problem and coming back to it later leads to better solutions. Number 5, practice divergent thinking. This is the ability to think multiple solutions to a problem. And it can be a lot of fun. And what's more, it helps you approach the problem from many different angles. One way to develop this skill is through brainstorming exercises. Come up with 10 different uses for a common object, like a paperclip. Remember, all this science that I've been talking about, though newly documented, has been around for a long time. Many of the world's most creative people had unknowingly used these neuroscience-backed techniques. For example, Leonardo da Vinci was known for his habit of switching between different creative projects. This allowed his ideas to incubate, leading to groundbreaking inventions. Also, Nikola Tesla claimed that many of his best ideas came during moments of solitude and deep reflection. Also, Salvador Dali would take micro naps while holding a spoon, waking up the moment it fell. This state between wakefulness and sleep is where creativity flourishes. So what can you do today to start hacking your brain for better creativity? Try switching up your routine. Allow yourself time to daydream and let your ideas incubate. Challenge yourself with creative constraints. Most importantly, understand that creativity is not magic. It is science. And that means you have the power to improve it. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who could use a creativity boost. Drop in a line below. What's your go-to method for coming up with new ideas? Until next time, stay creative, stay limitless. This is DHIRAJ Singh saying goodbye.